welcome back to another episode of the Point After Podcast. We are your hosts, Caleb and Jay. My man, how we doing over there?
No, it's been a long day. Uh, Great day of football, but for some teams, it wasn't so great. You know?
For sure. Hey, but before we jump into anything, bro, I'm not wearing it right now, but I got my old Hall of Fame Lincoln Kennedy jersey. What I'm saying? Tackle back in the day for the Raiders in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Some little vintage stuff. Um, Look, man, before we jump into it, I'm feeling pretty good. It was a great day. Well, it still is a great day. Watched some football, had some family over. Uh, just kind of finished watching the Chiefs and Bagels game. That was a crazy finish. Um, but yeah, man, let's get to it, man. But the first few topics we're gonna kind of touch. We're obviously gonna talk about the games, but talk about what's gonna be the future for Bryce Young. What's going on with the Dallas Cowboys, man? What's up with my boy Derek Carr, man? Shout out to him. But you know what, man? I know before we went on, you wanted me to kind of take the first stab at it, man. But you be the honors, bro. Let's talk about your Niners and how to go today. The floor is
I mean,
yours.
hey, hey, they clearly can't get this win in Minnesota. I mean, this record has been horrible, and then yet, to their knowledge, they know that, and they still can't make the game plan or the adjustments. But let's get into it. I'm just gonna start off with the positives here, since there wasn't much positive to go about. Jordan Mason, another great game, man.
Yeah.
Another great game. 20 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown. What more can you ask of him? CMC's out. Just got news he's going to be out for about 6 weeks. So, giving him that guaranteed money doesn't look so great now. Good job. But thankfully, you signed undrafted Jordan Mason out of Georgia Tech. So that's phenomenal. That's great scouting by the Niners. So, they did their job there. Debo was slow in the beginning of the game, picked up late when they had to pick up the offense. 8 catches, 100 yards. Yak, that's his thing. Brock Purdy, he looked horrible today. I mean, what more is there to say? A lot of questionable decision making. Throwing into double, triple coverage it's not looking good, and it's for the fact that he's not learning from his mistakes. Specifically to the interception he threw, it was going to be a pass to Juszczyk. He threw that pass before, and it was almost identical the way that the corner jumped the coverage. That one got through. He threw it again, and guess what happened? It got picked. So he needs to stop playing this risky game. Brock was very stable in the pocket. No movement at all. No rolling out like he usually does. No improvising whatsoever. So that's what happened with a lot of sacks. So on the offensive side, it didn't look so good. And on the defensive side, neither. Looked horrible. But credit to Sam Darnold. He played his game, and shout out to Jefferson. He went out with the injury early. Not early, but
Late. It was late during the
it
game.
was
It was like late, like towards. Yeah, we're looking at fourth quarter, bro. It was late.
I think it was like late third quarter.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
he still had a great game. He had that 97-yard touchdown. So, but on that play, Niners defensive coordinator, what are we doing here? You have George Odom on Justin Jefferson, a special teams guy who's 30 and has accomplished what? And Charvarius Ward's right next to him, covering the cross route. Yet last year, at least what Steve Wilkes did, he kept Charvarius Ward on the number one guy. DK Metcalf, for example, locked him up that whole game. And on Jefferson last year, I think it worked as well when Charvarius followed him all game. So this is just horrible coaching and bad, decision making with the defensive coordinator. But Ty Chandler, went off for the Vikings, game of his life, but for the Niners, where's Brandon Ayuk? you get all this money. You sit out all this time. You complain all this much. You do all this tweeting and all this social media crap for what? For 4 catches, some yards. Miss me with that, man. But to question Kayla, is Brock Purdy great or in a great system?
I was gonna ask you that, bro. Look, I was kind of having this conversation with my family downstairs while we're watching the game about Brock Purdy and how quarterbacks could fit in this system, right? Because we've seen it with running backs, right? How they would have just have running backs just succeed really well in the system. Look, I think Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's more
100%.
athletic. I think he has more arm talent. Excuse me, but there's definitely some deficiencies in Brock Purdy's game. We saw it today. Like some of his decision making, especially in the red zone today, like that was bad.
It was real bad. And
You know
as you
what
can
I'm saying?
see, like without CMC as well, CMC was a very much help for him on the checkdowns. So he's not saying he's missing a lot because he has more than enough. He just needs to make better decision making, and he needs to use his mobility to get out the pocket. He was a statue today. He basically was Jimmy G today. I'm talking about today. But I just want to give credit to the Vikings defense, man. They came with the game plan. They knew what to do. They locked up our receivers, and we clearly couldn't get anything going until late in the game. So um, tough break, tough break. You need to make adjustments. And Kyle Shanahan, the play calling. You're a run first team in first drive. You're 3 passes in a row. Really? That's smart, right? It's really not. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Wait. Let me-
It's like
so yeah,
it's like Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason had the best game of his life last week, and he still had a good game despite Kyle Shanahan's play calling. But they needed to run the ball more flat out, and they could have used Isaac, that other guy they had
mhm.
behind Mason.
So in your opinion, man, how do you feel about Bart getting that extension, man? How do you feel?
As of right now, let me ask you a question: does a Trevor Lawrence contract look good right now?
Not
Then
so much.
that answers my question. Then that answers my.
Yeah.
I don't need to say no more than that.
Yeah, then I think another thing too, before we move on, is how serious are we gonna be looking at the Vikings now in the NFC?
I think they're pretty big. I mean, shoot, they're becoming like the Saints. They're becoming this underrated, you know like very below expectations type of team, to where they're gonna kind of emerge with this offense. Man, they can score clearly, and
Hmm.
Jefferson went out with the quad injuries, and he was questionable to come back in the game. So it doesn't seem like a long term issue.
Hmm.
I think the Vikings could still make the playoffs easy.
Hmm.
Uh, you're still gonna have great competition there, along with the Saints, because they're emerging as well this year.
Hmm.
But how about you? How you think
Yeah,
so far?
I mean, I like this Minnesota team. Obviously, a very good offensive line. They have two really good tackles. Obviously, Christian Darrisaw is one of the elite left tackles in football. Um, and then you look at Aaron Jones. He did fumble today. He has had some fumbling issues in the past, but I think more and more with this team as he develops, the continuity and chemistry with this team, I think he'll start to perform better as well. Um, Jordan Addison he's obviously out. Jetta, we know we're gonna get from Justin Jefferson, and this is even without T.J. Hawkinson.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Once he comes back too, it's gonna add another whole dimension to this offense. So the defense is really good. Kevin O'Connell is a offensive, specifically a quarterback coach. Like he's gonna get really good play out of his quarterback. We saw it with Kirk Cousins the last few years when he was in Minnesota. So yeah, man, like the Saints, you said, like this is a team to watch out for. But we all know what you came here to see. Before we jump in, though, my man, hold on. I'm gonna put if you can hear me, I'm gonna put this jersey, this delicate jersey, on the chair real quick. I'm not gonna put it on because you know, I want you to see it like the front and the back. You know what I'm saying?
He won one game.
Raiders. Ah, the world is in alignment, man. Everything is okay. You know, it's better days are coming. Like
Oh God.
this is what's supposed to happen. Like this is God's work right here, man.
Oh my
What can I
God.
say? Um, the Raiders did what they were supposed to do.
Okay.
They went into Baltimore, got a close win, 26-23. But I want to give some shout outs to a few guys real quick on social media. Matter of fact, no, screw them. Because everybody was picking the Baltimore Ravens to pick this game, so I ain't shouting out nobody. I was by myself, a one man army, and look what it does. When you have faith, positive things happen. So when it comes to the game, I want to shout out Devontae Adams. You know, for people saying, "Oh, he's aging. Oh, he's gonna get traded. Oh, he doesn't fit this Raiders team. They're not getting enough." 9 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Adams is still Devontae Adams. In case you forgot, you know, people who don't watch football, in case they forgot. Brock Bowers, he's a stud. He's the real deal. He's elite already. Future All Pro, buddy. 9 catches, 98 yards. He might be him, low key. Um, yeah, man. It was a phenomenal game. Again, our defense was fantastic tonight, specifically in that fourth quarter when we needed to come up stops. And while this offense still was struggling to get going, which is still obviously a main concern. Um, but Max Crosby, I mean, he was my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. He was your pick for Defensive Player of the Year. That sack he had on Lamar Jackson at the end of the game he's different, and his impact throughout the game and the run was phenomenal. Obviously, we know about Christian Wilkins; he was solid as well. Robert Spillane had an interception late in the game. He's been solid since he's came in. Since he stepped the foot in the door, he's been real good. Um, Even underrated guys, Jacorian Bennett, like he's been phenomenal. Like a lot, we talk a lot about Jack Jones. Nate Hobbs gets some love. Jacorian Bennett needs to get some love. He's been fantastic since he's really stepped up and gotten that role in that secondary.
Right.
Um, yeah, but just a little bit though for me. And on a serious note, um, this offensive line, which I hyped up a lot going into the season, I thought it was vastly underrated. They're not backing me up right now.
And
Uh,
that running game is looking rough right now.
yeah, I was just about to touch on that. I think at one point I saw we had 12 total rushing yards during the game. I thought it was a typo. I thought some person might have been drunk or just been smoking something when they were doing the stats. But like 12 rushing yards by deep into a game is just it's pretty disgraceful. We need to do better than that. Yeah, this offensive line, with the last 2 games, they've allowed 9 sacks. No, that's not good enough. Colton Miller specifically, I love Colton Miller. I think he's one of the better left tackles. These last 2 games, he's not been good. He's allowed too much on that side.
Yeah.
But don't want to be a downer because we
Don't
did
want
win
to
the
do that.
game. The offensive line did do enough to keep Minshew upright to make some throws late. And I want to give Minshew some credit because I felt like he played really well in that second half. He did go 30 for 38. He's obviously he was accurate, but in the first half wasn't completing a lot of stuff down the field. A lot of it was, dink and dunks. But
Right.
second half, he stepped up and made some big throws. Obviously, to Devontae Adams on the left side, far deep in the corner, near out of bounds. Phenomenal throws and great 2 amazing catches by Devontae Adams, especially the one where he's like literally falling down and toe
Mm.
taps in, like incredible. And the throw where he kind of escapes the pocket a little bit. He's running a little bit. And he throws to Brock Bowers and he nearly gets hit. And I almost went for a touchdown. So Minshew made some big throws late, and credit to him. Man, it was great, bro. I It was great. I had a feeling like this was supposed to happen. Like I knew like we were gonna go in there and win because I'm gonna talk a little bit about like how I feel like the Ravens this year. there's some questions.
Mhm.
And Ryan Clark touched on it. I don't. Was it on ESPN? I believe it was on ESPN, where I saw a clip of Ryan Clark talking about how this Ravens offense, like, there's some question marks here.
For
Um,
sure.
Derrick Henry, I thought was real good today. Definitely looked way better than he did in Week 1. 18 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Uh,
not too good though. I seen some of his carries. They were look a little
yeah,
lackluster. He
he,
wasn't averaging much a carry, which is still a problem. And Zay just can't be the only weapon. And
no,
they need another
100%.
guy.
Yeah, but 100%. But he did have an impact today. There's no
Yeah,
question about that.
yeah, for sure.
Zay Flowers was good today as well. 91, I believe, 91 yards, touchdown as well. But when I look at the Ravens, yes, their defense is really good, and they showed that today again.
Yeah,
But in the biggest games, the same questions continue to come up. You know,
always.
are they going to be able to make enough plays through the air to win those games against the Chiefs and against a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, where
And Buffalo too.
and Buffalo looks really good right now, especially Buffalo as well. Can't forget about them.
Yeah,
Um, I think the Ravens will be okay. Yes, 0-2 is not a great start to the season for them,
at
for
all.
their standards, but I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to start stacking up some wins here. But
For sure.
in the biggest games, if they want to get to that bowl and hoist the Lombardi Trophy, that the offense through the air just has to get better. I know they're a run
Absolutely.
centric offense with Lamar and now with Derrick Henry, but they have to be able to design better plays, and it's Lamar as well. He has to be more accurate.
You got to
They
push
have
the
to
ball
find.
downfield as
They
well.
got to exactly. They got to push the ball down the field. They have to find a way. Mark Andrews again was kind of anonymous in
He
his
just look
back-to-back
he
games.
just he just looks a little aged, man. I mean, he's coming off a big injury, right?
Yeah, I mean, and obviously Likely had a great week 1. Again, Likely was I didn't really see him out there. It was really Lamar, Henry, and Zay Flowers. That was their offense for today.
That was it.
But they got to figure out they got to find a way to get that passing game going consistently, especially in key moments.
For sure.
But who cares about that? All we really care about is that the Raiders got their win. We're 1-1. We play the Carolina Panthers tomorrow. We're basically 2-1 already to start the season. Um, Great days are ahead, man. We're
Hey,
here.
I got a question.
Yeah.
If y'all lose to Bryce Young, then what?
So I mean, I've kind of already made my stance on that. I don't think.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Trust me, I don't
No, no,
think it's
no,
gonna
no. But
happen.
I don't think a loss literally is going to exist in the game. Like, it's only a win or like the guys didn't show up to the game, like the game got canceled. You know
No,
what I'm
no.
saying?
Uh,
That's how I'm looking at it.
I see what you mean.
But yeah, man, let's show some respect and love to Derek Carr. That moving
Yeah,
on.
man. Saints freaking
That's
blew
enough of my
blew the top off.
Raiders spilliquy, man. We did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, quit all
Carry
that.
on, though. Carry on, though. Carry on.
Yeah. Saints straight whoop that ass. 44-19. Derek Carr.
Bro, it was
Shout out to
bad, bro.
Derek Carr. Shout out to Derek Carr. He's
Yep,
a
yep.
resurgence. Caleb texting me he's 2015 Derek Carr this and Derek Carr that. And I just want to hear it all over the world. But we got to give credit to where, Derek Carr playing his ass off right now. And against the Dallas Cowboys, who do have a good defense, Michael Parsons, Diggs, I mean, he torched this defense. Along with Shaheed and Kamara's looking like one of the best backs in the league right now.
He's
I mean,
it's
just look at
contract year,
the
bro.
stat sheet.
It's contract year.
Hey, it is contract year, and he's clearly trying to get his paper. 115 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, also 65 yards in the air with a touchdown. And then Shaheed continues to be the big play guy for this team, 70-yard bomb down the field.
That was
And
crazy.
then Chris Olave having a much better game than last week. 4 catches, 81 yards. I feel like, he's trying to get implemented more, coming off that really cold week 1. So it's good to see him out there doing that. And that defense, they're all over the field. Tyrann Mathieu is laying out hits, boy. But Dak Prescott, all that money for what? But 200 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. This is certainly not a good look for Dak. CD still getting his targets, 4 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. But you still get embarrassed. You got whooped in your home opener. How's that feel? What adjustments do you need to make? I mean, The Cowboys, the Cowboys. I mean, y'all looking like some clowns this year. Y'all
Oh
barely beat the
man.
Browns. Can I? No, I'm just kidding. That's messed up. No, no. They did great against the Browns. I can't even lie.
Look, man. This was similar to the playoff game we saw against the Packers last year with the Cowboys, where they just got ran out the field. I mean, if I was a Cowboys fan, I would have probably requested a refund, get my tickets back. Um, this was just top notch, secondhand embarrassment level. Um, like, like seriously, bro. Like this was just
No,
bad.
I mean, like, I
It
mean, I
was
don't know how
30.
they're. I don't
It
know.
was like 35-14. It was
I don't
30
know how their
something to
fans are
something at
fans.
halftime, bro. It was crazy.
I don't know. I don't know how their fans stay loyal, man. I mean, I'm just thankful the Niners can at least make it to a Super Bowl. Jesus Christ. But
Yeah.
let's continue. Let's continue.
Yeah, look, man, I don't know what it is, man. Ever since Derek Carr has gone to New Orleans, even last year when look, they struggled, they didn't make the playoffs obviously last year.
I think that
But
was very much team chemistry problem.
that as well. And they're look, and Saints fans, they're gonna ride the high horse now, but before the season, they were calling for Derek Carr's head too, especially the way Spencer
Oh
Rattler
yeah, and
was
oh
playing in
yeah,
the preseason.
I ain't forget that video where I seen Derek Carr go up to the fans and they're all acting like they didn't know him. I didn't forget that.
Yeah.
Y'all don't switch up on Derek Carr now. Y'all hop
Yeah.
off. Y'all hop off.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm just getting. I was wrong about Derek Carr. I could say that.
nah, yeah, Derek Carr's been amazing, man. It's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like
Resurgence of his career
yeah,
a
no,
little
no,
bit.
it's like I'm happy for him at the same time. It's
Oh,
bitterness. It's
oh,
sweet.
because yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm happy for him, obviously with his success, but it's bitter because at the same time, I would love for him to be doing it, with the Raiders, man. But no, in all seriousness,
I bet Devontae misses him real bad right now.
yeah. But ever since Derek Carr has gone to New Orleans, man, he's been doing all these touchdown dances. He's been out here dugging. He's throwing up threes and like he's good.
Definitely a rebirth. Definitely a rebirth.
He's like, bro, Derek Carr is acting different in New Orleans, man.
Man,
But no, man, all serious, I'm happy for him, man.
yeah,
This looks
absolutely.
like the Derek Carr that everyone expected him to be. Going
Exactly.
back, I sent you it. It's like 2015 because that 2016 season. I mean, he was up for MVP before he had the leg injury. So there's no doubt Derek Carr has the ability. It's just like, are we going to see it consistently? These first two games, he's been phenomenal.
Great. Right.
And
We just want to see it throughout. And if you can
yeah,
continue that, he's a top guy. No doubt. No doubt he's a top guy if he continues to do this. But he needs to continue to do this.
yeah. And I think now with Kamara looks fully healthy, obviously it's a contract year for him.
Yep.
Olave, I think, is going to get better and better as season progresses. We know he's one of the better young receivers in football. Shaheed is one of the best deep threats in the NFL. For 2 straight weeks, I've had him on my bench for fantasy football.
Caleb, come on, man.
I've had faith in Mike Williams. Mike Williams, you're going to the bench, buddy. I'm sorry. No more disrespecting.
Caleb, I could have told you put Mike Williams on the bench, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh God.
But no, this Saints team has this talent. Like we know their defense is still really good. It's a top 10 defense across the board. You look at the front four, the linebackers, the secondary, top notch. What they've needed now is an offense that can put up points to support this defense. Now they're not going to score 30, 40 points a game. I don't think that's going to continue.
I think they would be in the high 20s though.
Yeah, if they can score points to just help support this defense, where their defense is not on the field 10 times out of 10, yeah, this is a playoff team.
Yeah,
but now
definitely got the weapons to do it. I mean,
now the big question is they're playing against Philadelphia next week. They played against Dallas.
That's a
that was a test. They passed test 1. Now you got test 2 against Philadelphia, another NFC contender. So if they can do it for a third straight game, I think
and we're gonna have to really seriously talk about them making a playoff run here.
Hey, we might have to look at not just that. Well, Derek Carr MVP talks already through 3
that
weeks.
As well. I mean, he's putting up the numbers for sure, man.
Yeah, but the Cowboys, man.
Jesus, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's
yeah,
ridiculous. I mean, you could tell. What's his name? Sorry, I'm blanking. Bland.
Deron Bland. Yeah, he's out though.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big loss, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
this with the weapons they got, yeah. I mean, it's pretty predictable that they're gonna run all over this defense. I mean, Diggs can't be all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, and I think too. You look at the Cowboys; they're clearly a team that they're one dimensional. They're pass heavy. They don't have a consistent running guy. I know I bigged up Zeke, but look, in all seriousness, we know that Zeke is not the same running back he used to be. Everyone knows that. I'm just a
Yeah,
huge Zeke fan. Um,
he's a
but yeah, Dalvin Cook. I don't know what happened to that. Like, is he just like on the practice squad? Like, I don't know where he's at.
I haven't seen him.
Um, yeah, they don't have a running game, and yes, the league is become pass heavy. There's no question, but you have to have some kind of a run game, and
Some kind of a run game.
the Cowboys now. That's why I think for me, I just can't consider them a serious contender in the NFC. If you don't have a
Right.
running game of somewhat, then you become too predictable, and teams are going to sit back against you. And when teams sit back against you, when they can and they feel that they can just play you a certain way, it's going to give them more confidence. And when a defense is playing confident, they're going to make plays. And
100%.
this Saints team, defensively, offensively, they just completely they embarrassed the Cowboys today. Cowboys got to be better, man. Come on, man. That can't happen.
No, they got to be better completely. Moving on to the Chargers versus Panthers, another ass whooping. 26-3. Panthers just can't get this
Bryce Young,
together,
man.
Caleb, man. They can't get together. I mean, granted, a lot of it's on the Carolina and how much they don't have a roster of any
Yep.
type of talent. But Bryce Young makes horrible decisions as
Mhm.
well. It's not just all on the offensive line. Bryce Young's taking these big hits where he could be getting rid of the ball, throw out of bounds. You know what I mean? But he struggled. 84 yards and an interception. Not great. I think the only upside to their offense today was Hubbard, and he didn't even rush for that many yards. 64 yards. Not great. So there needs to be a lot of adjustments, and they're clearly going to be the number one pick going into the next year's draft.
Look, man. I was talking to my pops about this with Bryce Young. You know, I believe Bryce Young is still a talented football player, but you looking back when he was at Alabama, you know, you had the best offensive line, you had the best weapons, you had an elite defense, and you obviously had Nick Saban, one of the greatest coaches ever. I mean, probably the greatest college football coach ever.
Right.
So, he comes into a station where Carolina where they're just not good. Like you look at this team, I mean, Miles Sanders, I mean, he's just completely disappeared. I don't know what's happened to him. Adam Thielen is okay as a second or third option. Deontay Johnson, don't know what's up with that guy. This offensive line is just putrid. It's not good at all.
Oh,
This defense, I mean, you traded away Brian Burns to the Giants, and that was terrible. And then nextly, unfortunately, news Derek Brown, him being out for the season, your interior defensive tackle. Jace Horn, I mean, he's their best corner, and he's a real young, promising corner, but he's getting beat now. And post game, he looks depressed, talking about how he's hearing the fans boo constantly every single time because their team's getting spanked every game.
mm,
I mean, it's tough in Carolina, man. Yes, it's only 2 games, and I think Dave Canales understands football. He knows the game, but this Panthers team is a long ways away. This is a
oh, they're far.
probably 4-year process.
I'd give it a 5-year process. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'd give it 4, maybe even 3 if they could do something in free agency, not just the draft. But
Mhm.
to give credit to the Chargers, they had a good game. Herbert, very accurate, 14 for 20, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did throw an interception though. And J.K. Dobbins, man, another resurgence, rebirth type of thing. Very injury prone, but he's looking good at the start of the season, man. 17 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown. Quinn Johnson, way to catch the ball.
And we gotta shout out Quinn Johns because he's
Way to
taking some
catch the
slack.
ball, and that's 2 touchdowns as well. And
Yeah,
one
man.
of them, one of
Shout
them,
out,
one
bro.
of them was a tough catch, dude. So everybody giving him shit, for dropping all these balls, and everybody's like, "Come with the adjustments next year." Well, here he comes with it, and he caught 2 of them today. So relax.
Yeah, 100%, man. Look, the Chargers are 2-0, man. The Jim Harbaugh effect, it is real. I mean, wherever he goes, they
My take is just
yeah. Oh,
just
slow down. It's
aging
still
real
it's
nice.
it's, it's 2 games. Relax.
And I'm gonna tell you the same thing about the Raiders. It's 2 games. Relax over there, huh?
I lost to Sam Darnold. So yeah, I
Relax,
think for me,
relax.
I look at the Chargers as yes, you got the quarterback, but clearly though, this has become a run first team. Um, Before
Right,
this year, this was a pass heavy team. Even with Austin Eckler at running back, he was a running back who caught the ball a lot. You had Mike Williams, you had Keenan Allen as well, Gerald Everett as well at tight end. So they've completely changed that. They become a run first team, which you would expect from Jim Harbaugh. He's a run first type of head coach, you know. And this Chargers defense, man, you got to give it credit. They're playing at a pretty high level as well. Um, the big guys that they count on, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr. They're making plays, and they're playing well. You got to give credit. Credit is due. Um, but just talking about the Panthers, man, that it's tough over there. I don't want to harp on it too much, man, because it's only 2 games, but
No, no,
they got
no.
to
But
figure out.
it
They got
looks
to figure out
horrible
some
over
stuff,
there.
bro.
Let's be honest here. It looks horrible over there.
They
I
got
know
to
it's two
figure out
games
some
in the
stuff,
season,
bro.
but everybody's seen the tape, man. They look terrible. And Bryce Young straight running for his life every single play. Thielen's running open crossers. He's over here just with his head down right after the play because Bryce Young ain't seen him. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of stuff they need to work out over there.
yeah, and it's just show you, man. It's a difference, man. Like it's hard to come in as a rookie and change the culture like that. C.J. Stroud obviously comes to mind. Patrick Mahomes, but he was able to sit a year under Alex Smith and then become that starter into a really good team.
Right.
Um, it's especially that it's just hard, man. Like for rookies to come in, but we're probably looking at Bryce Young. He could potentially be a backup, man, and that's tough, man, because when he entered the draft, I thought he was going to be a perennial Pro Bowl, All Pro type quarterback, and it just doesn't look like that right now.
Not by any means. But going on to the next game, we got the Rams versus the Cardinals. And this is
Woo!
a kind of a surprising one, but not really since they went toe to toe with the Bills. But 41-10, Cardinals. What that trick? But shout out Trick Williams. Uh, Matthew Stafford.
What was that?
Matthew Stafford, not a good game.
Oh no.
Just looked pretty. Nah. 19 for 27, 216 yards. Kyler Murray looked like Kyler Murray. 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Conner had a phenomenal game running on the ground. And Marvin Harrison, way to wake up and way to be back in the offense and,
He's
finally
here.
assert yourself. Especially after all the criticism, all the questions about, the press and Kyler throwing to Harrison, giving him targets and whatnot. Well, this shut him right up. 4 catches, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns, my boy.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison is here, man, and he showed up in a big way. Incredible first game. Kyler Murray does Kyler Murray stuff. I'm really praying that Kyler Murray is healthy this entire season. I
Yeah,
I, I really
100%.
want to see this Murray and Harrison link up. I think it's
Mhm.
going to be really special year one. James Conner, one of the more underrated running backs in the league. A really good performance. 21 carries, rushed for over 120 yards and a touchdown. Um, I didn't quite see McBride a lot throughout this game, or
Yeah, he was a little quiet.
a little quiet. Um, but look, man, like I said, this Cardinal team has some offensive talent. McBride at tight end, young promising tight end. James Conner at running back, solid. Not amazing, but not
Mhm.
bad. Like he's good. And then obviously you got one of the more talented young wide receivers coming to the league in a long time, and Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. So I think as this Cardinals defense and offensive line starts to develop in the next year or two, they could be another young, exciting team come up in the NFC.
100%. And also, to their credit, they could pull out a lot of wins this season with this offense. It is an offense driven league now, I would
Hmm.
say. And with the points they've been putting up, with that close game they had with the Bills, I mean, I feel like they could pull out some wins against some good teams here. Um,
Yeah,
Rams defense looked atrocious. I mean,
yeah,
they looked horrible. And, Puka's presence is definitely missed, man. I think you could attest to that.
100%. This is a team that's going to win by scoring points. The Rams. Even when they had Aaron Donald last year, they were not a good defense.
No.
Like, what I mean? Now with Aaron Donald retired, this is even a worse defense. They're going to win games by shootouts. And if they can't score points, the Rams are probably going to be in a rude awakening, midway through the season. And Puka Nacua being out is extremely tough. Cooper Kupp didn't have a great game today. So, yeah, the Rams got to find out some way to at least be a bend but don't break defense. They got to find a way
Right.
to make some kind of plays because,
Some kind of balance here.
yeah, because if their offense doesn't show up, they're not going to win games as the way they look right now.
Right. Hey man, you're definitely not wrong. But to touch, we're just gonna touch on some other games real quick. Just a little quick run through. Browns and Jaguars. Browns pick up the W 18-13. Trevor Lawrence, I don't understand why you got that contract. You haven't shown one bit to why you deserve that contract, nor why they changed that name to yours in that stadium. It makes no sense to me. But shout out to the wide receiver, Brian Thomas. Had a great game. He did his thing, but the Jaguars just can't seem to put it together. They have no flow. They have no rhythm. I feel like they just don't have no identity. And the Browns, I mean, they're average at best. Their defense definitely carries them.
Yeah, it's tough, bro.
It's tough. To
That's
touch
all I
on
can say, man.
to touch on another game, Jets pick up the W 24-17. Aaron Rodgers in the win column for the Jets.
Hey, Rod.
A-Rod, looks all right there. Will Levis, young, good quarterback. I feel like he just makes bonehead decisions. Jets defense, I think, is clearly missing a couple pieces, man. Reddick is definitely missed. But, yeah.
And just to touch on that too, man. Jermaine Johnson now out for the year.
Yes, no. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, that was another player. Jermaine Johnson is out for the year, man. All these
So
injuries.
I can only imagine now the Jets are gonna call Hassan Reddick and be like,
how much you want?
We got you. Like
you want it in cash or a check at this point?
Yeah, there's no other option now for this Jets. They need another pass rusher. I talked about it last episode. Losing John Franklin Myers in the interior. Now with Jermaine Johnson, one of the young, promising pass rushers in football, he's gone for the season. You're really looking at now Quentin Williams and a young McDonald on the outside who's raw, talented, but hasn't really consistently shown it yet. So Reddick will definitely be paid. I would probably assume either tomorrow morning or probably the next, I don't know, hour or two, bro.
I'd say in the next couple of days for sure because that D line is struggling at this moment. Yeah. But do you want to touch on the Chiefs and the Bengals before we get out of here?
Yeah. Obviously, just finished watching the Chiefs and Bengals game. The Chiefs they do it again, man. It's getting frustrating at this point, man.
I don't understand it. They just pull out these wins, and I just the PI at the end and all that bullshit. You know what? No. Burrow
it was PI. It was PI, bro. It was PI.
It wasn't PI. Burrow has this man's number. Burrow has this man's number. I'm sorry.
He got to the wide receiver early.
Great
At the end of the day, look, I'm a huge fan of Joe. I love Joe Burrow for obvious reasons. LSU ties, and he's an amazing quarterback. I think Joe Burrow, well, he's shown it, but I think even just personally, he's the only quarterback that can go toe-to-toe with Mahomes consistently and can actually beat him.
Yes, and he's shown it, like, not only with his record, but, like, in the games he's lost to Mahomes. They've all been this close.
He's the only one to really beat him. You saw in the AFC divisional round a few years back.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, man.
Or the conference, but.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was a great game. Trey Hendrickson, he embarrassed the rookie left tackle. I'm forgetting his name. That was a tough night for him.
Absolutely.
He's talented. I think he'll get better. But yeah, he had a tough task going against one of the premier pass rushers. Henderson almost single-handedly won the Bengals the game. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs, you look at what they do, man. It's Mahomes
even Mahomes with the not so good game. I mean, he had 2 interceptions and he still pulls out the win. I mean, this guy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Especially now with the news of Hollywood Brown being out for the whole regular season,
He is out for the
um,
whole year.
it's gonna put a lot of more pressure and expectations on Xavier Worthy. We know Rasheed
Rasheed
Rice.
Rice,
Yeah,
he's already
Rasheed Rice.
taken the number one spot. 5 catches, 75 yards. It's not
Yeah, he
terrible.
was.
He had a
Yeah,
great
he
game.
was solid. And then Travis Kelsey wasn't really involved a lot in the offense tonight, but
No,
we know that it's a matter of time with Travis Kelsey. It's Travis Kelsey.
it's Travis
we,
Kelsey
we're talking about the best tight end in football. Like he's gonna get going.
without a
Um,
question.
so Chiefs win another close game. It feels like it's on auto. They just pull out these wins out their asses. The refs are on their side. But
Yeah, I literally don't understand this shit all the fucking time. I mean, like I said, like they had him beat. It was like what 4th and 16, and then yes, I understand it.
bro, did you see Joe
It was a
Burrow's?
PI. Yes,
Did
I
you see
get it.
Joe
But
Burrow's facial reaction
yeah, no, he
when
was
he
all, he was
called the
all,
PI?
he was all, he was all, he was pissed, bro. He was hot.
Yeah,
But I
and
get
even that,
it.
I
I
think
get it because it's every time with the Chiefs. It's like you make a big stop, flag on the play every time. But they get what they want. It's the league's
yeah,
team.
and then I think also too that Jamar Chase felt like he was horse collar, was it face mask by
I think no,
McDuffie?
no, no. What the
He went
reporter
off.
said, he thought it was a hip drop tackle,
Yeah, I don't know
and he thought it
what's
should have
that.
been called.
What's a hip drop tackle? I don't even know what that is.
The new hip drop tackle rule that they implemented, where they can't like bring them down all awkward.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that
But it
protects.
did. It didn't. It looked like a very awkward tackle.
Hmm.
Um, I know Chase might have been felt some pain there, like because it was like over his shoulder. It wasn't really a hip drop, but
Hmm.
he was hot on the sideline, yelling at the ref, and then Burrow tried to like, "Hey, calm down, calm down." It's gonna cost us. You can't
Yeah.
can't make those bonehead decisions, especially when you're quiet in the game. 4 catches and 35 yards. You can't be making those bonehead penalties, especially when in a close game like that, and you're already having a rough season. Coming off a loss against the Patriots, need to be smarter, Chase, and not so greedy with the money, huh?
Damn, bro. Hey, but Jamar does deserve his money, bro. He's
No, no, no.
elite.
He deserves the
He's
money, but
elite,
the
bro.
money, but yes, but the money they're offering him. I mean, how much more do you want to compensate the man? I mean, yes, these guys deserve to get paid. Yes, these guys deserve to get their money. But like
I
it
feel
gets
you.
to a point, my boy. Like if you're getting offered 140 million, I want you to shut up. Like just be quiet. You're getting paid. I don't want to hear it. All because you want to be paid more than Justin Jefferson. You're not even better than him. I'm sorry.
No, I hear you, but Chase is one of them dudes, bro. You know what
I
I'm
know
saying?
Chase wanted to do it. Is he better than Jefferson and he wants to be paid like it? No, he's not better than Jefferson. And no, he doesn't deserve to be paid like it. Maybe it's just a little bit below is what the Bengals were going for and what he declined.
Yeah. No, I feel you. No, but I'm all for these guys like saying how they feel and wanting to get their money and stuff. But as I had this conversation actually though with my grandpa and pops, man, I was like, if as you've seen it, a lot of the dudes who are sitting out and wanting to get these contracts, you notice that they're a little rusty right now. A lot of the guys that held out.
Ayuk, for an example, real
Yeah.
quiet.
And then we saw it. Well, Josh Jacobs was incredible today. But we
Yes.
saw it. We saw it last year. Josh Jacobs, he struggled throughout the season because he
Mhm.
held out for that contract and he missed with all training camp. So yeah, it's it is what it is, bro.
It is
But
what it is.
that's it.
But
That's gonna do it for the point
let's go do it
after.
for the point after podcast, man. Keep a lookout for tomorrow's episode. We're gonna hit
Damn, bro,
you
you
guys
cut
with the
me off,
back
bro.
to
That was
backs.
crazy.
I'm sorry, bro, but
That
like
was crazy, bro. That was crazy work, bro.
I got outro. It's all
How
right.
you gonna do me like that, bro?
I got outro. It's all right.
All right, bro. All right.
Relax, relax. But I just wanted to make sure to tell him it's back to back episodes from now on. We're putting in this work, so y'all better
Mhm.
enjoy it. And we're gonna be bringing you guys this content. So keep a lookout for the next episode. It's gonna have the Sunday night game review with the Texans and the I'm blanking, Caleb, and
Bears.
the Bears. Thank you, Bears. And then we're gonna
Caleb
be
Williams.
covering yes, sir. And then we're gonna be covering the Monday night game as well. And then our little week 3 preview. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You know what I'm saying? So all that to you guys, everything's in the description. Follow us on social media. It's been me and your boy Caleb, man. We out, man. Peace.
Raiders!